Hi, welcome to the next reflection or meditation for this Christmas vacation period for friends and members of the University of Sheffield, or just people who are tuning in or watching again. Thanks for joining me on this Boxing Day, and the theme of today's reflection is to think about the 12 days of Christmas. So, how do we count 12 days of Christmas? Well, we start on the 25th of December, Christmas Day, and we conclude on the 6th of January. Then we have 12 days. Why 12 days? Well, some of the bigger mysteries need longer to reflect on, and Christmas fundamentally isn't simply about facts or history, but is also about mystery too. So I thought we could just briefly reflect on things that are mysterious about our own lives. When we think of our own life, we tend to think of the obvious or the tangible. We check in with ourselves by obvious indicators on how we're doing. Did we get our work done or our assignments finished on time? Have we had something to eat? Did we have a good sleep last night? Are we warm? Are we comfortable? Those are our basic kinds of indicators, and there are of course others as well. Have we been in touch with our friends, with our family, with our loved ones? And I know that's harder than usual this year, but these are basic indicators of how life's going. But what about the mystery bits of life? And when do we get to think about those? So as we wonder or contemplate or meditate on what mystery means, we don't need to be religious, or we don't need to regard ourselves as spiritual to wonder about the mysterious aspects of life. That's actually an important theme to us, whatever our religion or belief identity may be. Sometimes tapping more deeply into what's unknown or difficult to quantify, or quite the thing that shouldn't be quantified, giving time over to that really matters as well. One of the challenges though is that during this pandemic emergency we've had rather a lot of time on our own, or stuck, or in isolation, and so some things are best left for contemplation when life is more even and level and less complicated. So I'm not automatically suggesting that we need to do our deepest thinking now, especially if we're in Sheffield, so in the northern hemisphere and quite a long way north in terms of latitude. It's dark, it's a bit gloomy, and it's very quiet in terms of uni life. So we might not feel like doing much thinking about the mystery of life, but we may want to say, when things are different, it's worth me remembering for 2021 to give some time to thinking about that too. So the 12 days of Christmas, why we have 12 days of Christmas, goes back to the fact that this is a religious festival and a Christian festival, and the biggest festivals of the Christian year, Christmas and Easter, needed the longest time to celebrate. There's actually weeks, 4 or 5 weeks of Christmas if you count, and 6 weeks of Easter in the Christian calendars, because these are such big mysteries to contemplate that the time is required for those special seasons of the year. It's also that in Christianity there are periods, long periods of fasting prior to periods of celebration. So that happens for Christmas, is preceded, before that comes Advent, a time for fasting and reflection, just as for Easter that's preceded by Lent, a time also for fasting and reflection. Advent is a lesser fast, and Lent is the longer fast period, because the greatness of the mystery of Christmas is only superseded in Christianity by the mystery of Easter. Christmas is about the coming of life and the coming of God in human form in Jesus. That's the Christian understanding of what the Christmas mystery is. And the Easter mystery is at a different stage. The death and the rising again to life, the resurrection of Jesus the Christ. Those are the great mysteries of the Christian religion and the Christian faith. But for each of us, whether those mysteries feel important to us personally or not, a chance to say, life isn't just made up of these simple elements, are my basic needs being met? It is made up of questions of, why am I here? Who do I love? What is it all for? Time given over to those questions too are important. And if in these 12 days of Christmas we don't feel like reflecting on those questions because it's not the right moment for it, it's not the right time in our lives, or it's not the right time because of the circumstances around us, then maybe we can put a place marker in to say, that's something I want to come back to. I'm also very aware that within the 12 days of Christmas we get to New Year, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, for the Western calendar at least. And New Year's Day is often a time where people think about their New Year resolutions, what they want to resolve to do the same or do differently for the year ahead. And I think that relates directly to the start of a new year, but also relates directly to this Christmas festival of asking the deeper questions about the nature of our lives and what we want to do with them. So this vacation time, maybe you'll do some of the bigger question asking, some of the deeper thinking, some of the allowing time to be with the mystery of life, to even explore some of the religious significances of this season. Perhaps you will, or perhaps it's not the right time for you. But whatever you choose, it's worth remembering there are these 12 days of Christmas, and these are some of the reasons why they're there. And it's good for us, even if it's not this time on the calendar that we want to set aside, that it's always useful to set aside time to consider the mysteries and wonders of life, the universe, and everything. Thanks for listening. And I've got another session on Sunday, the 27th of December, and then on New Year's Day, and you'll see other things in the links below. Thanks for joining me, and bye.